Hey, Bruce here with California Gold Connection. We are going to jump into the charts, take a look at gold and silver and palladium. We finally got some movement this last week in the markets. Things are livening up. Why do we get some movement in short order? Is the Iran deal is really volatile with so fundamentals are really driving things right now. And that's the Iran war. We're going to have a deal. We're not going to have. We started bombing again, and that sent everything in a tailspin. And then all of a sudden, now we're working out a deal, and we might have a deal again. I don't know that's ever going to happen for real, but the markets are reacting accordingly, right? We had weak job numbers on Friday come out, which portends a easing when it comes to interest rates instead of an interest rate hike like they were talking about. They wanted to lower interest rates, but the current climate wasn't going to really allow for that. Well, now maybe it will, so there's positive news there. Well, I don't know if that's positive, but the job is not. It's positive for the metals. Let's look at it that way, right? So what else has happened? In silver, we got 6 years straight of industrial supply deficit. You know, you can talk to some people that'll disagree with that. You get the other side of the story. So we got plenty of silver. It's just, there's all you can pretty much find whatever you want to find on when it comes to silver. Basically, it's been manipulated for decades, and here we are. So silver is, just so you know, is a byproduct of mining gold and other metals. So even when silver started shooting up, people, there was companies wanting to start silver-specific mines. However, that stuff takes 10 to 15 years to come online sometimes with permitting and, all the rope-a-dope you have to go through in that. So even mines that are currently existing can take up to 5 years to get back online with all that garbage. So anyway, so is there an argument to be made for a supply deficit? There's been for 6 years, and the numbers don't lie. However, your guess is as good as mine. Sounds great for prices. I like that. Palladium, as I've told you guys in the past, palladium is Russia's a big player in the palladium in the world supply, and so is South Africa. Those are two of the major countries that supply palladium. Anytime you have a disruption there, you're going to have a spike in prices or a drop in prices in palladium. We saw that during the war when it started with Putin, when Putin invaded Ukraine. We saw palladium spike up to $3,400 and change an ounce. So that was pretty crazy. There's some disruption now in South Africa that's causing things to spike. So everything's kind of a perfect storm right now to give us a little bit of hope. Will it last? Your guess is as good as mine, but I want to show you the good news. A lot of my dental clients must have been watching this, unless you just got lucky. Because you sent in your scrap. I was gone last week working on my rentals, and you guys sent me your scrap, and you timed it perfectly. So when I got home, you maximized your return for gold and palladium because we had some great moves in both from what we've been seeing. So anyway, let's jump into the charts real quick. Let's take a look. We're looking at gold here. We've been dumping since we started the Iran war. You can see I've got delineations. This is when we started the Iran war, and this is where gold was at that time, right at that $49.95, $5,000 level, we'll just call it. Why do I have the $5,000 mark there? That was a psychological level for a long time, and so I've just denoted it on my chart. So anyway, we were in this pennant flag here. We broke down out of there. The measured move out of there is all the way down at this white bar we've looked at before. However, this level of support and this line, the yellow line, that was level of support in previous times. That's why the line's there, and you can see we've held that. I really didn't want to see us break this line because we have nothing holding us up. We would be ended up dropping all the way down to that $3,465 level ish, and I really didn't want to see that. So this is looking really good. What are we going to do? Are we going to retest this line? I don't really have any good pattern here to really work off of. We're just kind of channel bound right now, and you can see we had a nice move up here and it jumped back down. I would like to see this go up, retest this level, and if we could break through here, that would be great, right? So anyway, currently we got a $300 move in this last couple of days with gold, so it was really nice. Let's go to palladium or silver. Let's jump in our silver real quick. Silver, no different. This thing tanked when we had that major run up, which You know what's funny about this is the number one fundamentals in buying and selling any commodity or any stock: buy low, sell high, right? You know when I get all my phone calls to buy is way up here. You know when it's crickets is right here. Look at this buying opportunity. Silver is exactly in half basically. We're up at $121 an ounce. We're down to 60 bucks basically right now, 63. But we've been looking at a 50% retracement in silver, and the phone is crickets for large volumes of silver buy. Now I understand why we're flirting with that $50 level, and we don't have anything holding us up. Where is that $50 level? Is right there. You can see it's below that level of support and resistance I drew there. Our next level of support is down here at 46. The thing about that is it's going to be a psychological barrier or a psychological freak out. If we drop below 50, when 1980 we ran up almost to 50, 49.95, and then it dumped all the way down to dollars an ounce. 2011, after the housing crash, we ran up all the way to 50, then it dumped back to 12 bucks plus or minus an ounce, somewhere in there. So that's a psychological thing. Everybody knows, man, last time it hit 50 or it dumped. Well, we broke way past that, obviously, but if we retest that $50 level and we break below that, you're going to have panic selling. I guarantee it. And you're going to see a big red candle, probably like this again. I don't know how far it'll go down. I can't see that really happening, but the numbers don't, or the chart doesn't lie, you know. Our next stop after that, after breaking 50, would be 46, but I don't know that would hold with the panic selling. You may come all the way down and retest that $30 level that we're at for years. That could be a very real reality, right? Um, so anyway, everybody's spooked out of the market right now. It's crickets on silver, but we got some great moves, and I don't really have any patterns forming here that gives us any real direction. But currently, we're looking good. Let's stop at palladium. Most of you guys that are in my dental industry, this is what you're looking at. And again, I don't know if I haven't been doing update videos because of everything that's been going on. It's just, you can see what we're doing. We're just dumping and trading sideways. So there's really not a whole lot to talk about. But finally, we got something to talk about. And actually, palladium is kind of a nice exception to that. You can see we broke up out of this descending channel or pennant flag. And anytime you have a breakout out of a pattern, you can see our measured move is way the heck up here at 1,845 bucks. But we got these yellow lines of support and resistance in the interim, right? That I watch, and there's nothing really stopping us from moving up here. But what you want to see is once you break out and you go up, you want to see a retest of the breakout level and then a close above that level and without breaking down out of that breakout level to confirm a breakout. Well, we got that. We finally got that. What day was this? I can't see, my camera's in the way. It was August. Oh my goodness. It was August 4th. So we got August 4th. We finally closed above that level, which said, okay, we got a confirmed breakout, and you can see what we've had happen since. Now, it's not real strong, and this could fail and dump back down, but I would love to see palladium hold and start marching up, you know, especially with the Ukraine war still going on. And I don't know what sanctions are going to be happening or not happening. You know, that's kind of fallen off the radar as far as most of us are concerned. We're not getting a lot of news out of there. But then with the South Africa disruption at this time, you know, palladium can make a nice march up. So you guys that are in the dental industry, for sure to be keeping an eye on palladium pricing, because that's a big driver in your payouts, right? Well, we've talked about that before. But anyway, great looking move there. I'm excited to see that from palladium. Gold and silver is moving up. All is looking good. I haven't been doing updates because things have been so crazy with the war. When the war is ever over, if it ever gets that way, and when things start to stabilize, you know, I can give you guys some more input. But with everything so volatile, I could tell you one thing one day, and Monday morning this can open up and all this stuff could tank because we're bombing Iran again. You know, I don't know. It's just so hard to really give you any tangible information that you can watch. I don't want you buying and selling on what I'm telling you. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing, and you guys make your informed decision like always, all right? I hope that video helped. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you for your business, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.